Good afternoon, my fellow Americans, and good evening to fellow Americans on the East Coast. My name is George Wilson, and most of you already know I'm running for president of the United States of America in the upcoming election in November, if there's an election. I want to greetings also to my church family and to everybody, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Greetings to you and God bless you. I just decided to come on, and I haven't been on here in a while on either side, political page or ministry page, with this, since this coronavirus had been out and mass hysteria with the epidemic, whatever you want to call it, disease that people are, kind of freaking out about. Excuse me. I'm a little hoarse. No, I'm not tested positive for, the coronavirus. So, no, thank God for that. I'm not tested positive for that. But I don't have none of the symptoms. I do have a lot of allergies, especially this time of the year when, when the blooming stuff is going on. Trying something new. They said, try hot lemon juice. So I'm going to try it. So I'm trying that. Hopefully to clear up this in my throat. That's the only problem I have. Time to time maybe a little runny nose, but nothing major. I don't get sick like that. So, but usually around this time of year I start, just before mid-spring and just before the summer, I kind of pick up this little bug or something. It never fails, and it just shows up when it gets ready. So apparently, my turn. But other than that, I want to put a very important message out here. There's other things I want to cross over. I won't be talking long again. Like I said, I'm pretty hoarse, so I'm sorry. My mic. I will not be talking very long. So we're looking at the coronavirus and its outbreak, and it's everywhere. And I want to say to everybody, we practice those things that we normally do anyway. Keeping your hands clean. If you're out and about, don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth. You have a small thing of hand sanitizer in your pocket. Sanitize often, especially when you touch doorknobs and handles and carts in the market or whatever. Sanitize your hands. I believe they do have those little sanitizer wipes, so you can wipe off the carts with the handles where you push the carts. If they don't, you make sure you sanitize your hands constantly. Practice safe distances, social distances of 6 feet. I think they're making that very obviously clear that this is what will help. And if you don't have to be anywhere, don't be. Stay home. I know a lot of us don't like being at home. I'm one of them. I like to be about. I like to go do what I need to do. Not hang out so much, but just enjoy the weather if it's a real nice day. And then when I'm ready to come back, I come back. If I want to sit in the park, I sit in the park. But with, like I said again, with all this is happening, if you don't have to be out, don't be out. And I know you can get stir crazy, but like myself, my wife, stir crazy. I mean, literally, like going up the walls, per se. So, but if we keep out, cause hygienes, of course, we know, take daily showers, wash-ups, whatever you do, baths, whatever. Like I said, keep yourself clean, keep your hands washed, make sure all the surfaces in your house are sanitized, especially in the bathroom, in the kitchen sink areas where you prepare food or whatever. Those are the real areas that you need to be looking after to make sure that they're all sanitized. We started sanitizing the doorknob on the outside and the inside. We leave, we sanitize the doorknob. Come back in, from being wherever we've been, we of course you can come in and use the doorknob. Then we sanitize our hands, and then we re-sanitize the doorknob again, inside and outside. And it's simply because of the fact that we're not taking this to a nexus level of insanity, but just being safe. It's called safe practices. So that we don't, of course, come down with this virus. We're so fortunate for California is only 19 cases, but where we live is, excuse me, about 18 miles outside of Porterville. And Porterville has a few cases. There's test positive for coronavirus, but we live in Lindsay, and there's not one case. And, it's only by the grace of God there isn't a case here where I live. Then I would be alarmed, very alarmed. So we're doing what we do. And we're just doing safe practices. That's what, if you, like again, the law says, order from the president and your local government and municipality says stay inside to protect yourself and to protect others. The Bible says, love your neighbors as you love yourself. You yourself don't want this virus, then don't go out and be a hindrance to your neighbor or neighbors. Don't have to be in your neighborhood. You could just be going to the grocery store. Be mindful that the stuff is out there, and you don't want to contact it, and you don't want to give it to somebody else. So whatever the law says do, just do it. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, for some of us it is a big deal. Because a lot of us are outdoor people. And others are just, stay-at-home moms or whatever. But again, and then there are those of us that are home because our jobs closed or shut down because of this pandemic outbreak of corona. And it has gotten in the way of a lot of things. And but be safe. One of the things I really want to iterate is be safe out there, because there are too many cases coming up and folks are getting sick and dying. And a lot of young people, they call them the millennials from ages 21 to 39 they said it wasn't pretty much at risk, but you guys are at risk, as well as those, cases. I think I've seen a few cases from 13 through 17 that got this disease. Of course, they bounce back a lot faster than us older folks. Not calling myself older. I'm in that range between the 40 and the 60. So, but if they close down the beaches, guys, don't go saying, I'm too young, and really giving the officials a hard time. Like I seen on the news, in Miami, I believe it was, or Tampa somewhere, where they flooded the beaches. I think it was a beach, or something was going on in California as well, and they just flooded the streets. And I mean, with knowing that all this is out there, and they're taking it nonchalant, and then they have cases, and the folks getting sick, and then they're in the hospital, and then they're fighting for their life because they can't breathe. And you don't want this to happen to you. So all you have to do is do what? Listen and take precautions. I know it's annoying, because God knows it's annoying. But I'd rather have a little bit of annoyance in my life and then to be laying up on a bed in a hospital that had many cases ahead of you, and you're trying to gasp for air because either you came in contact with somebody not realizing it, or they've come in contact with you without realizing it, and then you're gasping for air, and then and then you up there with other people that are suffering, and you don't know if the next person next to you, on the ventilator next to you, how bad they are. And again, we don't want to see anybody pass away in front of us, whether related or otherwise. I think one life is just one life too many. And one dies of this stuff, and according to the numbers that they're putting out there, or they're projecting, they're saying it's always doubling and tripling overnight and all this. I'm finding that very hard to believe myself personally. Now, I don't know what you believe, and that's certainly up to you, what you believe. But I believe the numbers aren't as high as they say it is. I also believe that they already knew about this. The president knew about this, and he should have jumped on this a whole lot earlier. Choosing to ignore something is not saying prepare readiness. It's not saying I'm prudent about this, and I'm going to make sure that I'm ready. It says that you're irresponsible. Now, a lot of people that I know, some anyway, mostly, they ain't like Donald Trump, and they want him reelected. So if I say something that would be somewhat contrary, they would be like ready to come at me with full force. And they want to attack me because I said something. But it's my opinion, like everybody else have one. Like I said, everybody has a back end. So that means if you got one of those, you have an opinion. I don't think you should be penalized for your opinion. However, whatever your opinion is, keep it, clean. Yeah, if you want to call somebody a jackass, call them a jackass, but be careful how you say it. Because, this day and time, with everything that's going on, and folks want to come at you cross. Hey, Pete, want to come at you cross about the slightest little thing you said, or the slightest little thing you're doing, and somebody wants to argue with you about something. So again, I keep it real, I keep it honest, and I keep it absolute. That means absolute truth. Now, for most of you that, again, new to my page and pretty much new to what I do, and a lot of you know me, so I don't really have to introduce myself, but I am running for president of the United States. And you'd be surprised how many laughs I got. People laughed at me and like, oh, yeah, you're running for president. And that banner behind me is, you don't make banners for jokes unless you're just crazy. And I wouldn't be out here if I didn't think I could make a difference. If I didn't think that we can make a difference. Okay, it's not one person, it's all of us. But we got to wake up and realize it's all of us. And that we can make a difference. I check the stats, or I'm working with debate attorney, a very awesome organization, leading women. They have their own organization and television and all that. I'm working with them, and I learned a lot just being associated with them. And when you're working with people that's going somewhere, that could help you go somewhere, you thank God for people like that. Because other than if I hadn't met them and hadn't been talking with them, and part of that organization, which you can check out on my webpage, and as well, it's all over my timeline. Look it up. I got emails, website, their website, my website. If you just want to say, let me check this cat out, I got my information there, why I'm running, who I am, a little bit about me. Check it out. And I just believe that we can turn this ship around. The government, for God. God first, or God above all. And I believe God, I don't believe, I know. I got to be careful. Sometimes I got to say things. I know God wants to be in government. And so I said, well, he don't need you. I said, well, you're right about that. But he chose me to run, to be in this election, or to be in a candidate for president, to take his word and his message on the biggest stage of them all, out of the White House, to turn the government around. But it's just not just turning the government around and exposing the lies and the deceit and all the mysteriousness and behind the scenes. It's about the American people learning to not depend on government, but depend on yourself. We've been waiting on the government for a long time to do a lot of things for us, and the government hasn't done it. So it's time for us to start saying, look to us as an American people, come together and be united once again, to do great things for this country. Because it's about the American people. It's about lives. Speaking on that note, now again, with this virus, this coronavirus, I have an opinion on it, my opinion only, not that of the U.S. government at the moment. One, is it serious? It's obvious that people are dying everywhere. It's definitely obviously serious. So please take it serious. Do I believe it's some mysterious phenomenon that just showed up on American soil? No. I think it could have been prevented, like I said earlier, a long time ago. When he got that first information that it was out there. One thing with viruses, and somebody crossed me with that a few days ago. The United States have had many, many flus. And it's taken out many people. The flu has taken out more people than most viruses. Now, if the numbers are correct, and I'm saying that loosely, If the numbers are absolutely correct, hello, mother, I can see you there, then we will surpass every statistic or every virus that has ever hit the United States and around the world. We would surpass it by billions if this thing, according to the scientists and the top doctors, the CDC, and that medical scientists and all these people out there in the general, what is it? What's his name? Somebody general. Anyway, the medical general. I mean, whatever. They got it. All the medical things. But anyway, if these numbers are absolutely accurate, then this virus will be the worst in American history because it'll leave a pandemic to an epidemic. That means those numbers will triple and quadruple itself if this is what the numbers are, if it is as staggering as most say it is. Again, do I believe this is some phenomenon that just decide to show up out of nowhere? No. No, I don't believe in coincidence, and I don't believe in fairy tales, and I don't believe in something just showing up. Either it was already here, or being worked on, or being invented, and they decide to test it. Now, am I talking about a mad scientist like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Maybe. I don't know. But if you're telling me that it started in China, not far from a lab, 20 miles from a lab that handles these infectious viruses, or do study of these infectious viruses, and the marketplace that they say had bats or snakes or something somebody bought and cooked, I guess, and got sick from, if that was the case, or it was probably bought and taken back to the lab, who knows, and created this virus. And they went to this place in China. I forgot the name of it. Mo something. I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyway, China, and planted it. And see how fast it would take off. And it's supposed to be a fast rate growth virus. It's supposed to go. In other words, you're supposed to get on the ground, go to running, and don't look back. Was it man-made? I don't know. All the things are pointing in that direction. All the statistics are pointing in that direction. Now people don't believe in conspiracy theories, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I deal with facts. And I've been looking into this and listening to various ones. Now, somebody said you can't believe everything you hear. Absolutely. But when you check out China, if you're talking about geographic area, is a very large place. 3,000 miles one way, 3,000 something miles that way, and over 3,000 some miles that way. So you can imagine it's pretty large strip of area. And it nearly affected everybody. Actually, I think it did. According to the numbers, if you lived in China, you got affected by it. And it killed a lot of people. And my question in my mind sometimes, and again, like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. If you know that this virus was roaming around in your country, why would you put those folks on a cruise ship? And quarantine them out. And when you find out there's cases of it, you quarantine those people for almost 30 days out there. Again, when the President of the United States saw this, how rapid this was growing, and that these people were being quarantined in the Mediterranean Sea out there, automatically he just shut down the borders. Whoop. I ought to shut everything down. There wouldn't have been anybody coming from anywhere that doesn't already live in the... If you're in the United States, you're staying in the United States. Till we figure out what that is and what it would do if it got in here. All borders would have been closed down and protected. And if we didn't have enough military power or military people that would be surrounding our borders and enforcing the laws on those borders, then we would have reached out to our fellow military folks that are in the foreign countries and brought them home. And say, hey, this is where you live. You need to protect where you live. I'd have shut down every border there was. I'd have saw to it that nothing goes in or out of those borders. Nothing comes in here by plane, nothing. Until we figure out what China had done and what was going on over there. And what kind of mess it was. That we was not going to let come into the United States. Canada, all borders outside of Florida, Mexico, if it's on the border of California, all that, the seaports would have been closed. You wouldn't have got in here nowhere. All planes coming from other countries would be rerouted. And to other air force bases outside of the United States. If you're a U.S. citizen outside of the United States, you would be quarantined until we figure out what that was, what you have contracted, what it is, and how dangerous it was before it ever come into the United States. However, that measure wasn't taken until too late. Now it didn't wreak havoc in the United States, and now we want to close down borders. Now we want to federalize the National Guard. Isn't that just like trying to get the horses back in the stable after they done ran out? Now you want to try to catch all the horses and put them back in? I'm thinking it's like Pandora's box. Once it's open, that's it. You ain't closing it back. So we're behind this. And I hear the president, and I'll applaud him on some of his efforts. I hear what he's saying. And I think he's trying. I think he finally get it. I think he's finally really paying attention now. I think he's finally opening up his eyes to see that, hey, this is a real pandemic. I mean, it could turn into an epidemic if we don't do something. And I give him his due for a moment. In a moment. For a moment. That was a wonderful, for a moment. And the last video I did, the Lord told me to get everybody to pray for 2 weeks for this government, the president, his cabinet, the government at large. Pray for the church. Pray for those that are sick, the healthcare workers. And I don't know how many of you went on that fast for those 2 weeks. And I don't know how many of you actually obeyed. I don't know. I'm not here to point fingers that say you didn't, you did, you didn't. But I can see where the prayer of the fasting has starting to take root. I can see the effects of prayer. However, I also see where the government's still doing what the government is doing. And when they started talking about stimulus and taking care of American people, everybody, every family, whatever, and they were drawing up this stimulus package, and I heard it was something like $6 trillion they got from the federal government. I was like going, where do you get money from? But anyway, moving right along. My opinion only, like I said, my opinion. And, you know, you can criticize the Obama era as much as you want. We didn't have this to worry about, of course. And I believe he would have reacted differently if it hadn't been during his reign. I just believe he would have. We did have some kind of issues going on in his administration, and he was right on top of it. He didn't wait till the last minute to figure out what was happening. He was on top of it the whole way. And so the United States through it. Now, I'm not saying that man was perfect, because he wasn't. But he was a leader. Like us all, we all have our moments and issues. But he put those aside for the American people. And now, I'm not saying Trump hasn't grown a little bit since he's been in office, because I believe he has since the day he got into office. He was like somebody like a wild weed. You know, no matter how you cut the weed, it grows right back up again. And he was this wild weed that everybody was looking at him like, what? What? Is he serious? Something wrong with that, man. I still say that. But anyway. So this coronavirus thing, whether man-made, and it went out of control, and it's out of control, or whether it's man-made and is actually doing what they intended for it to do. Or it could be, according to Revelation, pestilence, the wrath of God on the United States. Certainly, the United States deserved the wrath of God. That's just plain out simple. Period. No discussion there. If I was asking me, so which is it? I said, well, let's go with them all. Either this thing was man-made and it got out of control, or it was man-made and it's doing exactly what they wanted to do. Or this is known as pestilence, and it's a prerequisite to the rapture. Or, well, prerequisites to the tribulation period. They're ushering in the Antichrist. Everything's pushing that way anyway. New world order, one one world currency, one world religion. Now I can't say I don't care, but I need people to wake up. You might not believe in certain things, like the Illuminati and Freemasonry. That's fine. But there's a force behind the scene. And according to the Bible, it talks about a dictator, an Antichrist. That's going to come and for world unity and peace. But it's going to be a false peace, false unity. And if we look at the times that we're dealing with now, it's a prerequisite to everything in the book of Revelation. It's starting to unfold. The churches should be well aware that God is letting us know that this is going to happen. This is coming. And sooner than you and I, will ever know. So it's called prepare yourself. Get your house in order. We're living in those last days. We're living in what Timothy said in 2 Timothy 3, perilous times. We're living in a time of Matthew 24 when it speaks about wars and rumors of wars. We're seeing from Revelation 6 the four horsemen. We're seeing the prerequisite of the four horsemen and what they represent. The trumpet is being blown saying, prepare yourself because the wrath of God is coming. So, is this a shakeup? Yeah. God is shaking the whole world. Not only with this pandemic of the corona flu, but there's earthquakes everywhere, seemingly. I think they said in 1 week, Texas had 9 earthquakes. California's had about, I don't know how many, 4 that I know of. Places like near Tennessee and Oklahoma and I don't know, was it Iowa? Somewhere over that way. Had a low earthquake. And I remember when I was looking at that, I was like, they don't get earthquakes. They get tornadoes. So, and California's not big on tornadoes, but earthquakes. Well, somebody just took a flash photo of a funnel cloud in California. So are we definitely living in the last days? Yes. Are we living in the last time? Yes. Is the government corrupted? Well, you better believe it. Think about this. You can't throw money at an epidemic and hope it will go away. It may help with the people that are out of work. It may help for a while. Now, notice, is this a one-time check? They didn't even say that. They said they tell you the numbers of how much you're supposed to get per household, whatever. Is this a one-time check per month, for 1 month? They hope you can live off of, let's say, $1,200 for 1 month. And if this thing continues, everything will continue to be shut down. What about the next month? in the following month? Is this an ongoing thing for a few months? Or is this a 1 month thing? Good question. Somebody need to ask that question. I haven't heard anybody ask that question yet. Then think about this. Donald Trump is talking about putting everybody back to work. Or at least he said at first he's going to open up the whole United States. Now he's talking about maybe certain sectors of the United States are not that bad, that he's going to open back up by Easter. And he made a reference to a special day, and the holiday-based Easter. I didn't hear him say nothing but the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I hear him say about during the time of Pentecost. I hear him say anything about the time they went to the upper room and they waited till the Holy Ghost fell. I didn't hear him say anything about Peter saying, was talking to people there and saying that you must be born again of the water and the Spirit. None of that. None of that. But it's a special day, as he said. Now, I don't know about you, but let's do a little common sense thinking. Just follow me here. If you know this stuff is still out there and it hasn't been cured, there isn't a cure, at least in sight. You're working on it. You're trying stuff. You're testing. Great. Glad you're testing. And you're trying to get all the medical equipment and ventilators and things that you need to get in place. I get it. Think about this. If you promise me a stimulus package for my business, my small business, my family, whatever, and we go back to work, what's to make me believe that you'll say, well, they're back to work, they don't need the money? And what are you going to do with all the money? First, it wasn't ever make me believe that you actually going to send the money. I'll see that when if it goes in the mailbox, I'll say, oh, he actually did. I'll still hold on to it because there's something behind it. Think about this as well. Two things. One, if you get the check and you can spend it for anything you want to spend it on, take care of your bills, whatever, who's going to pay all that money back? You don't think that in this bill that they sent to the president, you don't think the stimulus package, you don't think they already had a plan in the plan of how they're supposed to get this money back? Nobody gives anybody anything for free. They got a plan to tax the heck out of you and me to get that money back when all this blows over. So is it worth the money? Versus what they're going to do later as far as taxes is concerned to get this money back? You think you're having it hard now? Go on to grocery stores and can't buy nothing because folks are hoarding and buying up stuff like it's the end of the world, like it's the tribulation period. It's nowhere near this. It's the media. It's all these mind brainwashing stuff to make people believe that if you don't go out and get all this food, you're going to be locked in your house for 4 months. Come on, folks. They're going to restock the shelves every day. You don't need 2 and 3, 4 carts of food. And where you going to put it if you ain't got a freezer, a deep freezer? What are you going to do with it? All the tissue? Really? It's only used for one thing. You can't eat it. What are they going to do with all of that shit? Leave some hand sanitizer. Leave some tissue. Leave some food for somebody else. Don't worry. There is no food shortage in the United States. Truckers are still moving up and down the highway, delivering food. Import, export is constantly still going back and forth in the United States as usual. There's no shutdown there. The stores are getting their deliveries pretty much on time. You know what Joe Clark said something in Lean On Me in Eastside High School. He said, take down those cages in the cafeteria. Because if you treat them like animals, that's how they're going to act. And if we keep following the media and all these things are brainwashing us to believe that this pandemic will turn into an epidemic, it's going to pretty much wipe out everybody. Well, first off, it's going to wipe out everybody. Buying food ain't going to help you. You're going to leave here. Buying up all them T-bones and ribs ain't going to do you no good if you're on the bed gasping for air trying to live. If you go away from here, those T-bones going to be ate by somebody else. So stop being so greedy and leave some food for somebody else. It's not the end of the world, people. Not yet. Let's act like we're humans and not animals. When we get to grocery stores and supermarkets and outlets and stuff, and you see grown behind people fighting like children over tissue and over paper towels and cleaning supplies and food. Come on. Is this what we sunk to, America? Is this what we sunk to? And you think the government cares about that? They're going to keep pumping out these numbers. They're going to keep telling you it's getting worse. They're going to keep giving you missed signals, missed messages. And we're going to continue to do what they expect us to do. Act like animals. And the minute we hear the National Guard has been mobilized or federalized, here we go ready to get our guns. Please. What is in us to make us act like this? We need Jesus. Donald Trump needs Jesus. Mike Pence needs Jesus. Vice President Mike Pence. Sorry, President Donald Trump needs Jesus. I don't want to disrespect him. Washington needs Jesus. We need Jesus. The churches, we need Jesus. Because we're losing our minds. I've seen a lot of posts out there, guys. You're posting different things. And then I see something else later on, and I'm like, oh, what in the world? Come on, folks. It ain't that serious. The virus may be. But the rest of this stuff, the Bible said, he that keeps his mind on him, he gives them perfect peace. He gives us peace in the midst of a storm. This is a storm, guys. And it's going to get worse. And the reason why I said that it's going to get worse before it gets better, because if you're going to put people back out in this pandemic, because you're saying people want to go to work, they do, granted, and take away the practice of social distances, raising the numbers on it anyway, you put people's lives in danger just for an economy, just for the numbers. The minute they said they're going to do this stimulus package, and they said they went through the Senate, then it's on the House, the Democratic House. Now I believe President Donald Trump already signed it already, or is on his desk to be signed or something like that. The minute they mentioned this, the stock market stopped dropping and started shooting up. Asian market as well as the United States market. All the markets around the world. Whew, they were losing money. Now all of a sudden they're gaining money. Donald Trump said that this stuff will be over soon. What do you know, sir? What do you know? Tell me. I'm going to use his words. Yeah, wait a minute. I'm going to use his words. This is all a hoax. Really? I don't know. Most critics will look at me and say, well, you're running for president. What would you do? Like I already said. See, I wouldn't have got behind the 8 ball from the beginning. I'd have jumped on it when I first found out about it. When I found out that it was actually a critical thing, and I found out it was credible, I'd have jumped on it to protect the United States. None of that would have got in here. And if one did get in here that I wasn't unable to catch, it would have been quarantined and locked down until we knew what this was and that the symptoms, and put a team together to deal with this, and then the symptoms were starting to either go away or that person would pass. At least I would have known what I was up against. Because like I said, one life is one life too many. So yeah, I'd have been ahead of the game. I've been coordinating with China and all the other countries that encourage them to do the same. Lock down your borders until you figure out what this is before it becomes an epidemic. And if you know something that we don't know, let's talk, let's share. Let's see what we can do to help each other. Don't wait till the last minute, then you want to try to help each other. The two hardest hit was China and South Korea. Look at China. Hadn't had another case of the outbreak in 3 or 4 days. And all the people that were affected are getting better. South Korea, exact same thing, no new cases. And seemingly, or miraculously, their people are starting to get better. What happened to us? What's going on? But they know that we don't know. Why does the president keep allowing this to continue? See, poor management, poor leadership. We're the number one superpower of the world. At least we were. See, we wouldn't have to worry about the Ukrainians. Well, they're supposed to be on our side. We wouldn't have to worry about Russia, North Korea, China, Iran, Afghanistan, and all those nations that want to attack the United States. We wouldn't have to worry about them. Because we would let them know that we don't play games. that we're not the big watchdog in the Mediterranean Sea or around the world. Yes, we protect our own allies, foreign policies, the UN, the EU, foreign trade practices, NAFTA, which Donald Trump changed, then NATO. We would do all we can to keep order there so that our allies know that we got their back. And that we know that our allies have our back. We would have never turned our back on Israel or Ukrainians or Syria. See, this is crazy. France. We wouldn't have turned our back on these people. We're only strong as our weakest link. And they're making it look like they're looking at us like we're becoming their weakest link. And some of these countries are sitting back saying, we watch to see what they're going to do. Because this will make or break us one way or the other. You follow what I'm saying? We need a leader that's not afraid to stand up, to make those hard decisions. To say, hey, I need all the information I need right now. I don't need nobody sitting on their butts. I need people that are going to be around the clock. Come on, let's go. I need that information. I need advisors. I need people that know this stuff. What could we do? Who do we need to talk to? How can we help this or this or that or the other? Let's coordinate with different countries, different nations, and see what they have and what we have and what they need and what we need. We work together to combat anything. Yes, we are resilient. We're resilient people. And we fight through anything. But under this leadership, under this administration, how much more can we take before we say, I'm tired? Now, I'm not saying the man didn't do some things, he did. But to throw human lives back into a place, a workplace, so you could boost the economy again? I'll take the $3.3 million job loss right now until we can get a hand on this thing first. Because throwing people's lives back out there and they get affected, they'll die for the sake of a $15 hour job. Is that worth it to you? Maybe it is. But I don't see the worth in it. Now, is this something everybody wants? It's like they're buying into it. We'll see where it goes. But it takes a team effort. It takes the government to want to work. It takes a president that's not afraid to say, hey. And a cabinet that's not a yes man that says, Mr. President, I think you're wrong. And him to sit down enough to listen to somebody and see, okay, if I'm wrong, where am I wrong? Explain it to me. I'm human. I can make a mistake. Then to get up here and fly off some weird end and make some decisions that will affect us all for the sake of money. That ain't how you build a nation of strong people. That ain't how you build a nation of people that will stand united. That's how you build a nation that will soon be scattered, or if not eliminated. or extinguished, if you will. I know those are harsh words to live by, but that's what's going on. And it's going to get worse. I ain't gonna say I got all the answers, because I don't. But if the American people will get behind their leader and back him up, or her, then we can do some things. Then we can be a nation to be reckoned with. That this epidemic or pandemic will never ever happen again. We will never ever fall behind again. That we'll be on top of it every step of the way. And with my administration, that's what I plan to do. To stay ahead of the game. To know everything. And make sure that American people know everything. No lies, no hard spins. No game playing with mixed messages. The truth. The absolute truth. Of what we're facing and what we're up against. And what I need each and every one of you to do to help in this effort to keep whatever may come that we'll face in the next election year. In the next year, 2021. Whatever we face it together with the absolute truth. No more lies, no more deceptions, no secret societies. Oh, no behind the scenes, no fake news, but the real truth, the hardcore truth of the matter. See, I believe Americans, we're a lot stronger than the government allow us to be or think we are. We're a lot more resilient than the government gives us credit for. And we're a lot stronger than we're giving ourselves credit for. And we're a lot stronger in God's church than we are acting. Yes, my name is George Wilson, pastor. Christian pastor to some of you people. And yes, I'm running for president of the United States in 2020, to be your president in 2021. You want absolute truth? You want what's real? You want a leader that won't be afraid to stand against those that would try us? Or even against the ones in my own cabinet? Or shall I say big government? Then vote for me. I'm a write-in president, so you don't have to write my name in. And then vote for me in 2020. Some of you will get to know who I am shortly, in about a month or so. Excuse me. I should have name recognition and across the nation and the world within the next 60 days. You'll know who I am then. The President of the United States will get a very good idea who I am. And I'm somebody that he can't sit back and call Sleepy Biden or Sleeping Joe or Lazy Sanders or whatever you call Joe. I mean, whatever you call Sanders' name, I don't know. I'm somebody that I'll stare him down dead in his mug. He's taller than I am, but I'll tippy toe. I stand on the crate. So I can look him in the eyes. I'll believe it, face your accusers. And I'll let him know. No, sir. We sat back too long. You scorned the first black president. Well, you say, well, if he's the black president, Where's the birth certificate? He already told you that that some of his people are from Kenya. Well, that means his bloodline is not directly an American citizen. Well, he's an American citizen, but maybe he's not totally American. I don't know. I won't even question it. But don't worry. I'm an Afro-American, President Trump. Born and raised in the United States. So you ain't to worry about me having any bloodline anywhere else. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Stay inside if you ain't got to be outside. Love you guys. Talk to you again soon.